Okay, imagine this, one simple book making over $1,800 per month. It's not a novel, it's not a full-on guide, it's just a logbook. Now it may sound easy, but here's the thing, it actually works, and I'm gonna show you how. In today's video, we're diving into a low content KDP niche that's making thousands every single month for sellers. In fact, one seller is making over $1,800 per month from just one book, and it's all coming from a simple gardening logbook. And I'm about to show you exactly why this is one of the easiest and smartest books to publish, especially if you're new to Amazon KDP. Now, if this is your first time here, my name is Jeff, and this channel is all about becoming self-sufficient when it comes to making money online. So if this sounds like you, feel free to give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell so you can be notified whenever I release a new video. With that being said, let's get right to it. Now, here's why the gardening logbook is gold for self-publishers right now. Number one is evergreen. People garden year round, whether it's spring planting or winter planting. And guess what? Gardeners are obsessive. They love tracking their plant growth, their soil conditions, their watering schedules. They need a place to record it all, which is where your book comes in. Number two, competition. It's manageable. Unlike overcrowded niches, think gratitude journals and password books, this one has demand but hasn't been completely flooded. You still have a real shot at ranking and making sales. And number three, one book, multiple buyers. Unlike a novel which someone reads once, a logbook gets used over and over again. People come back for more, some even buy multiple for different seasons, different gardens, different layouts. That means repeat sales, which is what we want. So in this video, I'll break down this niche in depth, what makes it profitable, who's buying, and why it's making thousands per month. Then we'll look at real best-selling examples, see what's working, what's not, and what you should do to stand out. And finally, I'll show you how to start creating your own gardening logbook interior, even if you have zero design skills, so you can get this published on Amazon ASAP. Now, this video is going to walk you through a lot, but I can't cover every single detail like keyword research, title optimization, cover creation, and the actual upload process. Those are crucial steps if you want your book to sell, and that's exactly what I teach inside my KDP royalty roadmap. If you want to skip the trial and error and get everything laid out for you, check out the link down below. Now, I've done a video on this niche before, but I wanted to showcase it again because it's been about a year plus, and still the total results, the relevant total results, is still about 1,000, which tells me that there's still not a lot of competition here. People aren't really taking this niche seriously, and which is why I'm telling you to take this niche seriously, because all of the data that I've been looking through still suggests that this has a lot of potential for profits. Now, if you notice, I'm just using the broad search term for gardening logbook. And the first thing that I notice is actually the exact match. Only 7 out of the 48 books on the first page are matching exactly for this keyword in their book's title. And there are 29 independently published books, meaning there are 29 out of the 48 books on the first page that are KDP books. The average bestsellers rank 381,000, which if we plug into this KDP book sales calculator, we can see that's good for about 1 book sale per day or 30 book sales per month. The average reviews 404 and the average price of $11.70. And by now, you probably already know about my 3-step system into validating these niches, where I look for 3 simple things. Number one has to do with competition. So I'm looking for search results that have about 1,000 or less, which is going to tell me that the competition is not so competitive. There's going to be a decent chance at trying to get our books ranked on the first or second page of Amazon without having to resort to Amazon KDP ads. Number 2 has to do with demand. There's no point putting a book up on Amazon if people aren't looking for that type of book. So in order to judge demand, I'm looking for 3 or more KDP books that all have a bestsellers rank of 300,000 or below, because this is going to tell me that these books are selling consistently, which means that there's some type of demand here. And number 3, that niche score provided by Titan's Quick View. And that is a score that I look for that validates the first 2 steps of the process, and that is a score of at least 50. So we see with that total results, 1,102, that is still decently low for such a broad search term of gardening logbook. I mean, we don't really even have to niche down to get to this number. And by the way, I am using the all departments category. Now, I've mentioned this in a video before, why I use the all departments category instead of the books department. Obviously, if you use the books department, you're going to have way more results. But we use all departments because this is the place where Amazon is only going to show up the relevant items or products. So you can think about it that every customer's first page is going to be different based on relevancy for what they're searching. So this is the exact reason why I keep using the all departments as opposed to only the books department. Now, if we take a look at some of these books, I skip all of these sponsored products because this is where publishers are paying to basically put their books higher up in these search rankings. Now I see this one right here, the very last one on the right, this gardening logbook and planner. First thing I noticed, bestsellers badge with the bestsellers rank of 7,108, but we have to make sure that under publisher, it says independently published, which means that it is a KDP book, because if it doesn't say that, for example, if I hover over this one, we can see it is not independently published. This is not really the type of book that's showing the type of demand that we're looking for. So make sure that it's independently published. This is a book that's showing demand. Now, if we scroll more down here, I also skipped this customers frequently viewed and just look for the actual search rankings here, more sponsored products. We come across this one right here, the gardening planner and logbook, independently published with the bestsellers rank of 25,000. So that's book number 2 that's showing demand. And then we keep scrolling down and we have this book right here at 98,000, also showing demand, independently published. This one right here is not a KDP book. This one right here is. That is ranked at 257,000. So that's already more than 3 books. And notice $16 on the price point, which is definitely going to give this publisher a lot more royalties for every book sold. Because if we check out this royalty calculator right here, that standard royalty for every book sold is $7.05. Extended distribution is $3.81. This is extremely high for a KDP book. Usually when you're dealing with planners, you're gonna get anywhere from the $8.99, which is a $2.74 royalty. And I've seen books all the way up to maybe $12, which is $4.54. But I haven't really seen any book that's priced at $16 and still selling very well. Now, if we keep scrolling down, we have more logbooks here. This one ranked at 59,000. This one right here is 58,000. This one is 130,000. And if we get down near the bottom of the page, this one's still ranking at 155,000. So it doesn't matter really where you end up on the first page. For example, this one's at the very last row of the page, but it's still selling very well at 290,000. So a lot of demand here. This is a broad search term that you can take advantage of still. And the niche score shown by Titan's Quick View of 74, which is extremely high compared to the 50 that I'm looking for. So there is still a lot of potential here for profits. I've mentioned this in the previous video that I made, but still to this day, there is still a lot of room here. Now, if we check out this book, the Gardening Logbook and Planner, this is a monthly garden planting journal and organizer for gardeners. We can see it has a price of $7.99. Also offers the hardcover version for those interested. And that is a free KDP feature if you want to take advantage of hardcover sales. Now, if we go and look at the description, it's all laid out right here, what's included in the interior. You have your supplier's details page, your garden wish list, years at a glance, seasonal checklist, and so on and so forth. So this is a great way to know the interiors of a best-selling book without actually having to see it. Now, if we take a look at this graph, I'm going to show you the evergreen quality of this book. If we go back 90 days, you can see the graph remains relatively flat. Let's go back 6 months. You can see that there is ups and downs right here, but the farther we zoom out, the more you're gonna see that all time, it has remained relatively flat. This is what makes it an evergreen niche, because this book, regardless of the month, regardless of the season, is gonna continue to sell very, very well all throughout the year. And this is what's great about logbooks. Now, if we scroll down to look at some A+ content, this is the place where publishers can put more details about their books. You can put pictures, you can put interiors, you can write more descriptions about your book. Basically get people to know your book more so that you can try to sell them a little bit more so they can just press that buy button. So here are some of the interiors. You have your calendar, you have some logbook interiors here, and then some more templates right here, supplier details. years at a glance, garden wish list, garden design, inventory, seed packet info, seasonal checklist, and the companion planting chart, and then a mock-up of the book of what it actually looks like if it were printed and right in front of the customer. And it also lists the size here at 6 by 9 inches if the customer missed it up top. Now, if we go ahead and take a look at this bestsellers rank of 7,108, we can see this book makes about 33 sales per day, which is almost 1,000 book sales per month. And if we equate that into royalties, that's about $63 per day and just under $1,900 per month, coming from a low content book. Now, one of the things I want to mention is that the cover is actually designed very, very well. It is a simple cover. However, one of the things that I do like is the pattern texture that it uses on the front cover, as well as the simple design, the colors, and the very basic font. That's really all you need. Now, one of the things that it does great right here, it includes a ruler up to 22 centimeters, which is great for gardeners to basically have a ruler on hand when they are carrying their logbook and planner around. Now, if we take a look at another book, the Garden Planner and Logbook, this one's a little bit different because the cover is just the interior that's showcased on the cover. Now, these type of covers do very, very well, as we can see with the bestsellers rank of 20,497, and the ratings are pretty high at 4.6 out of 5, mostly a 5-star. And this one's priced a little bit higher at $9.99, but we're going to see that it has basically the same interior as the previous book that is the best seller. This one, however, is a little bit bigger at 8.5 by 11 inches. And if we scroll down to look at some A+ content, we're not going to see A+ content. So this is where the publisher can do a little bit better to get that sales ranking even lower, is just by implementing something free that KDP offers, and that's A+ content. Now, if you want to learn how to create your own A+ content, I'll leave a marker right now on the top of this video so you can go through it and learn how to implement this for yourself. So we actually have to go up here to this sample portion to see if we can get some of the interiors. Now, Amazon is going to be limited when it comes to the sample. So this one offers the supplier's info, the garden layout, the seasonal to-do list. Once again, notice very simple interiors, years at a glance. The calendar doesn't even have days. This is where the customer will just write in the days themselves. The January calendar, the to-do list, priorities, sow, transplant, notes, shopping list, notes, a lot of blank pages, and the publisher didn't even put any of the interiors on the back cover. So if they were to implement interiors on the back cover, as well as the A+ content, I'm sure this publisher could be selling even better than 20,000, which if we put into the KDP book sales calculator, we can see that it's still very good royalties at over $1,300 per month in estimated royalties, but I'm seeing that it can be doing even better if it were just to improve on some simple aspects, things that we should not be missing. Now, we could create this book from scratch, but it's just going to take way too much time, way too much energy to actually come up with all of these interiors to put into this book. So just go to Creative Fabrica, make a search for gardening planner. If you don't have Creative Fabrica, you can get the yearly all access for about $3.99 per month, billed per year at $47. It's going to give you access to everything that you see here, including fonts, all types of images that you can use for your interiors, and even more things if you're interested in print on demand things, as well as they have their studio, which you can generate PNGs or images with their AI. So if you want to go ahead and check it out, I'll leave the link down below. But as we can see, there's a bunch of interiors here, 543 that show up for gardening planner. Now, the key to Creative Fabrica is not just to download any interior that you get and then straight away upload it to Amazon KDP, because that's going to give your account issues. What you want to do is you want to modify these interiors, and an easy way to do that is just to look for these ones that say Canva editable or Canva template, because this is going to allow you to upload it onto Canva and make these modifications very, very fast. Now, if we take a look at this one says Canva editable template, comes with 43 pages, and we can get a glance of what it looks like right here. So let's go ahead, download this and start modifying. Now here it is. If we take a quick look, there's the book belongs to page, gardening journal, plant observation sheet, parts of a plant, So we have a lot of interiors here, 43 interiors. We can take a quick glance at it right here. And what we want to do is we want to go ahead and pick and choose the interiors that we want. So if we take a look at the grid view, we're not going to really want every single one of these interiors if we don't want it. But that's the freedom that we have with this template, is we can pick and choose the interiors that we want. Now also keep in mind that you're going to want to print in black and white. That's going to be the cheapest print option. So all of these colored elements, they're not going to be printed in black and white. So there's really no reason to have them on here in color. But one of the things that we can do to modify is just to simply delete all of the elements that they have for design, and we can make our own. And another way to modify very easily is just to change the font. So as we can see, this one's using the Inter font, but we can change it to something else like Chewy. Now we can also move this around. So go ahead and change the font, something like that. And what we can do is just make it bigger. And we can take this out completely. Or if you just want to add a design element, I'm just going to do something like this. Go ahead and make the background a grayscale color. So we can choose a gray, or we can go ahead and choose a lighter version of gray, something like that. And then there you go. That's one way to modify that page. This book belongs to, once again, change the font. I'm going to choose Chewy, and I'm going to go ahead and make these lines thinner. I just highlighted all of them. Go to the line section here, put the line weight down. I'm going to choose 1, and then there you go. This one right here, we're going to color this a little bit lighter, and then I'm going to put a corner rounding here of probably 20, and then there you go. It looks totally different. And one more thing, I actually forgot to color this. This is green, so we want to color this a grayscale color, or we can actually just color it black like that. This book belongs to, and then now we have this area right here. Now what we want to do, easiest thing to do, is to change all the fonts. So this one is already Chewy, so let's go ahead and choose something else. Let's search this one right here, and I'm just going to put bold on it and then center it. Now, if you're having a hard time finding the center, you can go ahead and right click, align to page, center it. So there's the center. Now I want to change all these fonts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and highlight all of them. It says multiple fonts, but I just want to choose Chewy. And then there you go. We just changed the whole look of this page. Another thing that you can do, what I like to do, is where they have square borders, I just like to add a corner rounding. So just a very slight corner rounding, maybe 20. And you can do this for pretty much all of these boxes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just select all of them and then do it all at once. Right here, corner rounding, and put it to 20. And as we can see, we basically just changed the entire look of this page. This is the idea. This is what you want to do. We can make this a little bit bigger, make it 16 for all of these fonts right here. So let's go ahead and highlight all of these, and let's put it all to 16. And then for the next page, you want to do the exact same thing. Change it to the font you're using, bold it, and then center it, right click, align to page, center, and then change all of this to the font that you want. I'm going to use this one, and we're going to go ahead and put this here like that. And then once again, change the boxes, put a corner rounding. I use 20. And you can also change the line thickness if you wanted something thicker. I think something thicker would actually look better, maybe a 5. That looks a little bit better. I'm going to do that with this one as well. So highlight all of them. And let's put a border style here. Let's go up to 5. And I think that looks pretty good. We have 2 pages done, and then we have this one right here. Now, same thing. Go ahead and change it real quick. Center it. Change all of the fonts to that Chewy. And then I'm gonna make this one bigger, 16. And then also these fonts are kind of small. Let's resize the font to 18. This one, let's put to 20. And then let's go ahead and move this up a little bit. And then what we can do is we can actually change these elements out. So we can look for our own flowers, seeds. So let's go ahead and do that. Elements, let's do seed. So here's seeds right here. Now we go ahead and just replace this one right here and put this here. This one is a flower, so let's go look for a flower. And what we're doing is looking for black and white images and just replace these elements with your own elements that you find on Canva. Leaves. You could also just click right here and change the color to black, and then you're gonna be able to just find exactly what you need. So here's the leaves, delete this one, put this here. This one is gonna be the tree stem. So we're gonna use this one right here, delete this. Now what we need to do with this one, we need to modify it a little bit. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and hit crop up here and just kind of take away the last bit. So there's that. And then we want the roots. So the tree root. Now here's this one and delete this. You could also just change the color of that last one, but I just wanted to go ahead and just change every single one. We can make this a little bit bigger. And then there you go. It's as easy as that. I just modified 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages in just a couple minutes. And so that's what you're going to want to do with the rest of your pages here. Now, depending on the interiors, you're going to want to duplicate some. All you have to do is you can right click on any page and then duplicate it just like that. Duplicate whichever pages you want. I'm going to duplicate the seed starting log. And once you've done all of that, you can go ahead and hit share, download as a PDF print, flatten PDF, make sure all pages, and then print in CMYK. If you only have the free Canva, choose RGB. Now go ahead and hit download and it'll be ready for KDP upload. Now, if you want to know the complete step-by-step, the entire KDP process from beginning to end, don't forget to check out my KDP royalty roadmap, which is going to help you complete this book and get it up onto Amazon KDP. If you have any questions, let me know. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe and turn on that notification bell, as well as follow me on all my socials at JeffsAtLife. With that being said, thanks for watching. Bye for now.